Welcome back to Politics for Teens. Today, as most Americans mourn the tragic event of 9/11, we thought that we would honor the memory of those who died during the event by creating a special video today. As I was doing research for this video, I came across several articles and polls about what the most tragic event of the 21st century was. Among the lists were the Russian-Ukraine War, the Iraq War, of course, the COVID-19 pandemic, as well as the 2008 financial crisis. And while all these events were tragic and horrific in their own way, one event, in my opinion, is truly the most tragic event of the 21st century. And it's one of the most tragic events and one of the most important events in American history. That is, of course, the terrorist attack that took place on September 11, 2001. Not only was the event itself horrific, but it launched a global war on terror. And that war lasted for many years. It's not only the loss of thousands of Americans' lives that makes 9/11 so significant, but it's this launch of this war against terror that makes this event the most important event of the 21st century. Before we talk more about the significance of the event, we need to go over the events themselves in order to honor those who gave their lives for America. 4 airplanes were hijacked during the morning of September 11th. The first 2 airplanes crashed into the Twin Towers, killing almost 3,000 office workers who were working that morning, along with 343 firefighters who were trying to save them, and 60 police officers. The third plane crashed into the Pentagon, killing 125 Pentagon workers. The fourth plane, however, has a more heroic ending. The 37 Americans, along with 1 German, 1 Japanese, and 1 New Zealand, stood up against the outrageous hijackers. Though they weren't able to save themselves, they were able to crash the plane. They stopped the hijackers' attempt to crash the plane into either the White House or our nation's Capitol building. However, all 40 of those citizens were killed. It's fitting that after the worst terrorist attack in human history, one of the most strict manhunts in human history would take place. It was finally ended on May 2nd, 2011, when bin Laden was finally brought to justice. Every year, we mourn the deaths of those that we lost. We promise never to forget what happened on September 11th. And that's a good thing. September 11th, every year, is a wake-up call for millions of Americans to remember what happened and to promise that they will strive to make sure it never happens again. Today, I hope that you are taking the time to remember what happened. If you're not familiar with the facts or you need to brush up on them, please take the time. Attend a memorial service or somehow spend time in your day to honor those who fell and honor those who, after this tragic event, spent their life fighting that it wouldn't happen again. Let them know that you won't forget and that you strive to make sure it never happens again.
First of all, good evening. This is a tragic day for our country. Our hearts and prayers go to the injured, their families, and friends. We have taken a series of measures to prevent further attacks and to determine who is responsible. We're making every effort to take care of the injured and the casualties in the building. I'm deeply grateful for the many volunteers from the defense establishment and from the excellent units from all throughout this region. They have our deep appreciation.